and welcome. This is Dr. Suzanne. I'm super excited to discuss this topic. Actually, not discuss, just talk about it. It's the attributes of a wife as God sees them. An attribute is something intrinsic. It's something you were born with. It's something that defines you. It's something that helps recognize you. In Jeremiah 1:5, God told Jeremiah, before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. We discover in that passage that knowing was his calling as a prophet. Being a wife is a calling of the Lord, because it is so important to understand who you are as a wife in order to help your husband. All right? So I have a lot to unpack, but I'm not going to do that in just one topic. The first one I wanted to talk about are the attributes. What is embedded in you that will show up when you are with your husband. All right? And then we're going to talk about other things. The role of a wife, how she multiplies her husband. There is so much. I'm actually going to do a series. And it's really, really interesting and informative, I believe. Okay? The attributes of a wife, as the Lord is teaching me, is based on Genesis 1:27. He made man, and in man he made male and female. So I'm talking about that wife who is your destined wife for life. You can have very good wives with all wonderful character, all gifts, and a lot of good attributes, a lot of good things, but they're not necessarily the wife of that particular man. Okay, not every good thing is for you. It's not because she's a good wife, she's beautiful, she has, a lot of gifts. Maybe she went to school, maybe she has money, maybe, whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean it's your wife. We're talking about destiny wives, because in the destiny wife, there are secrets embedded for a specific man. But nevertheless, let's just look at the different gifts. They are in three categories: spiritual, the soul, and physical. Okay, let's just go quickly and look at them. Start with the spiritual. The first one is multiplication of gifts. Remember that in Genesis 1:28, God uttered a blessing for that couple: fruitfulness, multiplication. And those are spiritual gifts. When that woman enters the life of that man, the multiplication of the gifts will begin. Okay? Even when they're in courtship, it starts. And that is going to produce wealth, but the spiritual gifts are also going to increase, because she's coming with a different dimension, based on her connection with the Lord. She's going to bring another dimension that the man may not necessarily have. But that dimension is going to stir up all his other gifts and cause them to multiply. That's number one. Number two, she stores spiritual gifts for this man. When they were created over there are parts of the spiritual gifts that were embedded especially in her, but for that man. Okay. Those gifts are in 3 different places. Actually more, but I'm just going to talk about these 3 places. Okay, we're going to have another video about the gifts a wife carries for her husband. It's just mind-blowing. All right. So the first area of storage is in her mouth. The area that are blessed through the mouth is the area of work and provision. The way it's released is through her words or prayers and blessing of this man. Okay. The second area of storage for the gifts is in her womb. What's in that womb is children, legacy seeds that are specific to the man. And the way it's released, you have to guess it, is through sexual intercourse. All right. The third area of storage of gifts for the man is in her hands. The very first thing she does is to cook for her husband. Very, very important. Because as she cooks, if you're a spiritual woman, you don't just cook to cook. You understand that there are blessings in your hand, your mouth, your entire body that you put in the process of cooking. You speak blessings, you speak life, you speak health, you speak everything you want in that food. You have to cook for your husband. Even if you have a cook, try to cook him little things, his snack, his dessert, his soup, something, and bless it. Okay? The other thing she has in her hands is production. What do I mean by production? In our hands, we can bring things forth through transformation of the produce of the earth. She can have a restaurant. She can cook, sell. She can transform things into other things. She can bake. She can even agriculture, have a field or garden. She can sell produce. She can sew. She can braid. So in her hands, there are giftings. And she will find those giftings and she will generate wealth for the household with her hands, with those hands, okay? Her hands are blessed. All right. So the third category of spiritual attributes of a wife is that she brings dominion. Dominion is manifested by positions of leadership for that man in different areas of life. It could be in the marketplace, could be in the government, could be in the church. Carries half of his scepter. Not that she's going to do it with him, but because she carries that, those instructions will begin to come and God will open the doors for those seasons because she's in his life. And the way she will talk to the man and giving him insights, he will pursue it and take the seat. Okay. Number 2, attributes in the soul. The wife comes with unconditional love. Okay. She comes with acceptance, consideration. She brings a sense of security, justice, and trust. She's trustworthy for this man. Her presence brings peace and joy. And the other attribute she will have is that fruitfulness of the soul, which is going to be manifested as, well, they're just going to begin to look more like God in character. Let's just say. Now, the physical attributes, number 1, she's a female. That's her gender. Her chromosome are XX, okay? Number 2, she's a woman. I discussed that the other day. The woman is the one that is taken from the man, meaning that she's made for him. She's his fit. If you take two pieces of puzzle, they fit perfectly. Number 3, she is his body type. And that body type will pretty much stay for a long time and forever. Okay. And number 4, there is a lot of sweetness in love making. The act of love making brings a lot of joy, fulfillment, calmness, focus, concentration, just a lot of good things. Well, these are the attributes of a wife. It's not super extensive, but it can give you an idea of what to look for at the spiritual level, at the soul level, and at the physical level. All right. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.